Good day, YouTube. It is Canadian Edge here, and we're gonna do a knife review. And this knife today, this is the Rough Ryder RR2081. So this knife has a blade length of 3.63 inches. Open it is 8.38 inches, and closed it is 4.75 inches. It is T10 carbon steel with a drop point blade. And for those of you not familiar with the T10 carbon steel, it is often used for making swords, katanas and stuff like that. And it often contains tungsten or vanadium steel. And so it gives a little more durability. The weight of it is 6.08 ounces, so it's got a little bit of weight to it, and you do notice that as you're hanging on to it. The pocket clip on this, it is a right hand tip down only, and it is deep carry, so it does go all the way into the pocket. It is a liner lock and flipper opening. So you got the flipper tab. And it does have a lanyard hole. For those of you who like the lanyards, you can throw one onto this knife. And this is a big knife. I've noticed that it feels like a big knife. So it is pretty much centered, which is kind of cool because this is a $19 knife and there's no blade play. It sits in there nice and solid, and yep, got no blade play on the knife. So let's take a look at size comparisons just to give you an idea of how big this knife is. This is the Ontario Rat 2, so you can see you got good size on that. The Benchmade Bug Out, again, quite a bit of length, at least inch and a quarter on those guys. We'll grab a couple bigger knives and do a comparison with them. We've got the Sencut Saxi, and you can see it's still got some size on that, and also the Civivi Cogent. So yeah, it's a big knife. It's got some length to it, which if you are a person who has bigger hands or likes bigger knives, this might be something for you to look at, and you're looking for a budget knife. Sharp wise, the T10 steel, it does hold an edge quite well. It's relatively easy to sharpen, and yeah, no issues there with that. Let's see how it does with the zip tie, because I don't know if you've ever had to cut these off of things, but it's annoying. And so it cuts through that. Takes a little bit of effort. How about through our paracord? Oh no, cut through that pretty darn easy. And through our twine, well, it cuts through that, kind of breaks through it. This is not the best twine. Anyway, it does cut it, so it will cut that stuff. So it does have, you know, relatively decent edge on it. Not razor sharp, but that can always be fixed. If you can sharpen your own blades, you can put a little more of an edge on that. So yeah, it's a bigger knife. I've tried a couple of the other Rough Ryder knives, and I saw this one and I thought, you know what, I'll give this a try and see what it's like. It's $19 here in Canada, so relatively inexpensive knife. And I found the Rough Ryder knives actually not that bad. So thought I would check this one out. But this one I haven't carried as much as I hoped I would. Mostly just because of the size of it. It's a big knife, and I don't carry a lot of big knives, especially big heavy knives. I find the medium-sized knives work better for me, so I probably should have carried it a little bit more than I did, but I did use it for different jobs out in the yard and around the house here. So it does do the trick. It works as an everyday carry knife, but yeah. So aesthetically, this knife, it's not a bad looking knife, relatively generic design to it. I like the swedges up here on the blade, gives it a good look. Handle's a very generic handle. I like the red stainless steel liners that the red liners that they put in there. I'm not sure if that's a G10 or just a plastic that they put in, and they do have the stainless steel liners, which, by the way, if they would have skeletonized these stainless steel liners, it would have cut down on the weight a bit. But going back to looks, I like the red. Makes it pop a little bit against the black, gives it a little bit of a distinctive look. And so when you're carrying it this way, you can see the red and black on it. So yeah, it just gives it a good look. Ergonomically, it's fine. Ergonomically, fits like it's a comfortable grip. You've got good control of the knife. Feels good in the hand. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And yeah, it feels good. Nice comfortable grip on it. So ergonomically, it's good. The smooth pivot on it nice and smooth out of the box. I haven't done any adjustment to the pivot, and you can see it with a little bit of break-in time. This would be relatively close to a drop close knife. So good smooth pivot on it. It fits the pocket okay, but you know, it feels like a bulky knife to me. It's a slim design, relatively slim design, but it just, I guess because of the weight and the size, it feels like a bulky knife to me. And the grip, it's okay. They did a little bit more grip here on this chamfer, and so that is where you're getting most of your grip, because this is fairly smooth. It says G10, but it's, yeah, it's a G10, I guess. But it's quite smooth up here, and so most of your grip comes from down here on the rough edge. And yeah, you can kind of see that if I get my lighting just right. Anyway, there is a rougher edge there, so the grip is okay. My biggest complaint about this is the pocket clip. Number one, it's an ugly pocket clip. Number two, they didn't countersink the pocket clip, make it flush. So that's added wear and tear on your pocket, and it's just, yeah, not an attractive pocket clip. And also, the bill on the pocket clip rests right under that knuckle joint when you're hanging on to this thing. And so over extended use, I can see that becoming a real hot spot. Right in there, a more tender part of the hand. So yeah, if you had to use this for a long period of time, if you're out camping or something and had to cut a bunch of small branches or whatever it is, I could see that becoming a hot spot fairly quickly. So my only real complaint about this, other than it feeling bulky, is this pocket clip. I would like to see a different pocket clip on there. But again, it's a $20 knife, $19 knife. So you know what you get is what you get. The fit and finish on it is decent. No complaints about that. The edges, they're all rounded off, so there's no sharp edges on it, and that it feels, feels decently made. So if you're looking for a larger budget knife and you're not wanting to break the bank, this might be something to look at, the Rough Ryder line. I don't know, this is also a knife that you can use and abuse, and if something happens to it, you're not that upset because it's $20, and cost you that to go to McDonald's nowadays almost. But yeah, if you're looking for a budget knife and want something on the larger size, this might be something for you to look at. I'm sure it would work great as an everyday carry for that kind of thing, or even something to throw in your toolbox or in your vehicle, just to have it around in case you need to do something on the roadside with repairs and stuff like that. It might be handy there. But yes, you could carry that as an everyday carry as well. So this is the Rough Ryder RR2081, and here in Canada you can find them at Blades Canada, and they are online at different places, so you can order them online if you're interested in that knife. All right, that is it for this review. We will do another review down the road here. We got some unboxings and different things happening, so be sure to check those out and hit the like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I will get back to you, and we'll do this all over again. But until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.